Inside the Backstage Pass, always a busy day. Of course, Hump Day. We always do a lot of shows on that to get ready for the weekend out there at KKTC True Country 99.9 and our friends also at hightidecountry.net, powered by the Sports Guys podcast.com. And of course, we'll hear from the sponsors throughout the program that make it possible here too. But I talked about her this morning on the station, my call in with Shelly. We got to play Nevermind across all those streaming platforms. They heard it this morning. Alaina Stacey joins us here on the Backstage Pass. Alaina, how you doing?
I'm doing so great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's good to be here. No doubt about it, too. Well, I tell you what, talk about your story because I mentioned it a little bit this morning when riding around one of those family trips, dad takes you on a trip and you pick up a guitar, never look back, begin writing those songs at an early age. And it just seems music came naturally. Kind of tell people that story a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I grew up in Chicago. At the time, not a lot of country music. I was in the city of Chicago, so I think there was one country music station. So I didn't know anything about country. And then I went on a trip with my dad when I turned 10 out west. And we went whitewater rafting and horseback riding and all that fun stuff. And just listening to the radio, I discovered some of that, early 2000s country. Which then led me down a path, and I never looked back. I became obsessed. I listened exclusively to country music for a long time. I started singing with a country accent, which is weird because I'm from Chicago. But it was, it was just kind of how it came out because I learned, I loved the storytelling and the way that the songs connect with you emotionally and, can kind of make you feel something. And so that's just kind of how it came out. And yeah, started playing guitar right after that, started writing songs at 13 and moved to Nashville after I graduated high school to do the thing.
That's it. And people say, it's a 10-year town and they've kind of, set it up there too. And you look at some people that, Lainey Wilson and some other powerful ladies out there too, which is amazing how it takes them some time to get to where they want to go in a very, very challenging business. Talk about, I guess, that part right there, as far as the challenging part for female artists in this industry too, because a lot of people don't see some of the work that goes on behind the scenes that you guys really have to put the nuts and bolts in. Talk about that for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. We have only an hour here. No, I mean, Nashville is awesome. It's a space, it's a place that has created a lot of careers for people. And it's also a place that has felt really difficult for others. And I mean, it's hard for everyone, but I think that it has been especially a space that's been hard for women to break into for a long time. And there's a lot of behind the scenes going on, a lot of going to every show, going to every networking event, just talking to every person that you can and just continuing to work on your craft and play and play and play and open your heart up to everyone every day and hope that somebody, is pulled in by that. And I think that it's worth it if you have a passion, but it is extremely difficult and it can get exhausting, especially, COVID just like tore it all up. And I'm so happy that people are back out there playing shows and like you mentioned, artists like Lainey Wilson and everybody kind of getting their moment, much deserved. And I'm just really happy to see that. And I hope that continues for other female artists in Nashville.
Yeah, I put you in that conversation too, because I got a little feeling, a little hint as I had Lainey on there back in December 2020. I said, watch out, because this thing could blow up quick. And it's through the music and through the message you guys are trying to deliver in the storytelling. And I say that to say this, because that Dawn EP, I listened to every song on it. First of all, terrific work too, which came out 2023. Lose You If I Have To was one of my favorite songs off of there too. Tomorrow, What I Had. Talk about this body of work and this collection of songs too with this great EP.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening and for your kind words. I'm really excited about this kind of project that I have going on. I started recording some songs back right before COVID, and then even a little bit during COVID, started recording some songs. And I realized I had so many that I couldn't fit them all in one album. And so I decided to do a few EPs. And one of the things that I've struggled with as an artist is finding my place in country or Americana, kind of where that line is. And I kind of wanted to try to ignore all that and group the songs instead of by a specific genre, but rather by kind of a vibe and a feeling that they give you. And I sort of split them up by time of day and kind of time of day, but also time of life. Kind of those beginning that fresh, that morning feeling. That those were all my dawn songs. So on the EP, those were all songs that kind of that I was expressing through that fresh morning, golden vibes. And then my EP that's coming out next will be the next one in the series called Day, which is going to be sort of more of the bright daytime, a little bit more upbeat, but still in that kind of vein of new beginnings and trying your best and all of that brightness.
Let's talk about, and it's fantastic where again all the songs we're talking about today are out there streaming purposes, including one that came out March 1st. Actually, just got or was in Nashville for CRS, covered the event. I Would. Let's dive into that one. I love that song.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I wrote that song with my friend Sam Gyllenhaal, who is an excellent songwriter. He's also has a band, Sam Gyllenhaal Band, which I'm also in. And that was the first song that we wrote together. Actually, he hates when I tell this story, but he reached out to me, just like kind of cold emailed me and said, I heard some of your music. Here's some of mine. If you like it, let's write. And I loved it. So I said, yes, let's do it. Like, where should we meet? And he said, well, do you have a place you like to write? And I said, no, any place. I can come to you, whatever. And so I went to his house and I went to his little studio that was in his basement, in his bedroom. I'm 18 years old going to this random dude's basement. Luckily it was not a murderer, and we became good friends. But kids out there, if you're listening, don't do what I did. Learn from my mistakes. But no, we became, really close, and I write, I would say, most of my songs these days with Sam. So anyway, I Would was that first song that we wrote. And I think, kind of that anticipation of writing with a new person can be scary, but we just really clicked. And I think came up with this song about just sort of wanting to have that do-over and do better, if you could have that chance.
Yeah, we all want that too. That's why I resonate with the song so much. And that's the beauty of, just like I said, the storytelling. I say that a lot here because that's what music is. It's therapy. I love it so much. And we're going to come back and talk about a song I love so much. Another one out there, because I listen to a lot of music. You guys know, one-stop shop here, the Backstage Pass. We check out all the artists, do all the great homework while I was away. And this was another one she collaborated on with this one too. Love this song here. But I tell you what, got to get you that guitar, stand by, and you got to perform for us.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
We still got to talk about the single Nevermind, which is out there across all those streaming platforms. Should we start there and have you play that one, then talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Take it away. It's all yours. Going to perform it here, Alaina Stacey, on the Backstage Pass. And upon the finish of the performance, we'll play some sponsor videos, get the word in for our sponsors out there too. So we'll go immediately to break and come back and talk about that too as well. So looking forward to hearing this one. Nevermind is across all those streaming platforms out there too. And you can visit Alaina Stacey, STACEY.com. So we have that perfected here on the Backstage Pass. It is all yours.
All right. You don't really call me anymore. Can't seem to pick myself off the floor. Why am I the only one who feels more? Weatherman says there's gonna be a storm. I know we were already warned. Rain comes down, I can't cry anymore. I don't want to waste my time. Maybe you were never my baby. I'm done speaking with our eyes. Say it, you were never my baby. You Just 'cause you were the one to say it first doesn't mean you didn't have it rehearsed. I could break, but I will fly like a bird. I don't wanna waste my time. Maybe you were never my baby. I'm done speaking with our eyes, saying you were never my baby. You were never mine. If you landed on my windowsill, I think I would still let you in. We both know, I know, you would fly away again. I don't wanna waste my time. Maybe you were never my baby. I'm done speaking with our eyes, saying you were never my baby. I was never your baby. You were never mine.
Yeah, I'm picking up what she's putting down. That's why she's here on the Backstage Pass. Alaina Stacey and Nevermind, too. That's why we got a lot of that good feedback this morning on KKTC True Country 99.9. Our friends out there, too. Artist Spotlight every morning. Another one coming up tomorrow morning. Tune in about 7:30 Mountain Time, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern to figure out who it is coming up on the show over the next few days. We got to take a quick time out here, pay some bills here, come back. We'll talk about the single, where it was written, how it got started, all that good stuff out there. Be sure and check her out across all the streaming platforms, the music, and of course, Alaina Stacey, STACEY.com. But if you want to buy some jewelry out there too, there's one place to do it out there too. I always say it's our friends at Jewelry by Tommy. And if you're looking for that perfect gift, your spouse, friend, family member, myself, Alaina, whoever it is out there too, make sure you treat them right out there too with Jewelry by Tommy. Got you covered. Email our good friend Tom Burley at burleysystem@yahoo.com. Today, get the order in. And also, too, if you're looking for that best in country Christian music out there, too, need that positive, uplifting message. I know I do on a daily basis, kind of like reading the daily, scripture of the day, all that good stuff. Good buddy Jonathan Bond's got it out there. Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter Jonathan Bond, jonathanbond.com. More to come here with Alaina Stacey, Nevermind. And, of course, we'll talk about a collaboration she did with Madeline Kelson coming up here with a song. It's just so beautifully done out there, too. Love that one. More here on the Backstage Pass. Stay tuned.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley-Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
The Kate Gordon Show. Today's best country mix is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thekategordonshow.com for more information on the show.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
And you can drink with them tonight, bangtail.com. Order it there too. And it'll be some good stuff, no doubt about it. Best stuff. Hoss Nation out there too. Hashtag Hoss Nation. When you take a sip, let us know how you feel about our friends at Bangtail Whiskey, and appreciate all the work the sponsors do out there. Back here with Alaina Stacey on the Backstage Pass, again, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com, and of course out there, hightidecountry.net, and our friends at KKTC True Country 99.92. So while I was away, I hinted at this before the break. Another beautiful artist too. Just seems like she's got a good heart, good soul. Madeline Kelson, tell us how this arrangement came about.
Yeah, absolutely. Madeline is one of my very best friends. We actually went to grade school together in Chicago. So we are both Chicago born, moved to Nashville to pursue music. And while I was away, actually was a COVID song that we wrote together from afar, virtually. We were both feeling very disconnected from music, just in all that craziness, and from, family. And so we did a virtual co-write, and we talked about, how crazy it is, how much things change, and how you come home and I was recalling that when I moved to Nashville, my little brother's voice hadn't dropped yet. Mm-hmm. And then the first time I talked to him on the phone after I moved, it must have been days difference. And I was like, who is this man that I'm talking to on the phone? Mm-hmm. And just that, that bittersweetness a little bit of how many things change, and coming home and things are the same, but they're different. So that's kind of where that all stemmed from. And then Madeline put that song out on her album, and then we later released kind of a duet version of that song.
I love it. Beautiful song out there. All right, Take Care of the Baby, because this had to be a lot of fun. This was 2022, I believe, when this one came out too. Always good to keep your dates aligned here in order. When songs come out.
Probably know better than me, honestly.
Well, I always say pride ourselves on the homework we do here on the show, no doubt too. How did this one come about? Beautiful arrangement too. Beautiful delivery.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I wrote that one a while ago about my little brother Gabriel. He and I were only 18 months apart, and when they brought him home from the hospital, I was so excited to have a baby brother. And I was looking over, in his little cradle and looking at his teeny little fingers and toes. And my mom said, all right, because I'm just 1.5 years old. She says, time, say goodnight to the baby. It's time to go to bed. And I was a bit of an early talker. And I looked at her and I said, you go to bed. I'll take care of the baby. Probably, in not a perfect sentence. But anyway, so that was kind of where that song came from. And just the idea of having a lifelong friend and in my brother. And there's also a music video for that one that he dances in the music video, and it's got some home videos of us and some fun stuff.
I love that too. Hey, tell me about this, because I'd heard about this a while back, but it was a Grammy Association kind of event that you went to. It had a lot of young musicians that work for classes, seminars. You actually took part in this at a young age, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes. And if anybody out there is a high schooler or has high school kids or anything, Grammy Camp what changed my life, basically. I went there in high school, and I met two girls, Katie Bishop at the time, she's Katie Du Bois now, and Kristen Castro, and the three of us formed, it's a camp that's just for students who are interested in the music industry, not just singers and songwriters, but also musicians and people who want to be producers and engineers and managers and in music marketing, just anything you could think of. The three of us met there, and we wrote a song and kind of formed this trio. And then a year later, we moved to Nashville to do it for real. So that was my my introduction to Nashville, was being in a trio called Maybe April. And with Maybe April, we got the chance to play at a Grammy Foundation, at a Grammy event during Grammy Week in I think it was early 2014. And that was amazing. We met Bonnie Raitt and Chris Christopherson and almost died because they were there listening to us. It's like,
which is amazing. Yeah. I felt that way with some of the fanboy stuff here as on the show when you get the marquee name, somebody selling it out a few weeks ago. I had Brantley Gilbert on, and I think for a few seconds I had to just go, be quiet. Be quiet. It's just one of those, you're like, am I really doing this? Am I talking to this person? So I see how you felt when it came down to it too, which is always a fun thing too. See, I told you, we do a little digging here on the show and put out Grammy Camp, which is always cool out there because I'd heard about it before and hadn't heard about it in a while. Well, I know you got one more for us. I still want to talk about a great song called Tomorrow, which came out in 2022 as well. From the great Alaina Stacey out there too. And check her out, AlainaStacey.com, STACEYALAINA. The first one. And then, of course, we'll talk about Tomorrow here in a little bit. And I'll tell you what, before this performance, tell us about, before I forget, how Nevermind, the latest single, came about. Because the one you played before right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I wrote that one with Kristen Castro, who I was in Maybe April with. And that was just one of those, it's actually about one of her relationships. And it was just one of those that just kills you, just the feeling when it's starting to be over and realizing that it's over and just kind of starting to let go and realizing that maybe it really never was for you in the first place. And that was, she and I wrote a lot of songs together and we were very close. And so we were able to really, really put our hearts out there while we were writing songs. And that's one of the ones we wrote together.
Beautiful, beautiful song. I love that song. Again, Nevermind across all the streaming platforms out there, and check her out. Merchandise, tour dates, all the good stuff there. AlainaStacey.com. What are we going to hear?
Well, I was going to ask you, do you want me to play I Would, which is already out, or another one called Over You, which is coming out in just a couple weeks?
I'm an exclusive kind of guy, so why don't we just do a new one that's coming out here in a couple of weeks, and we got to promote it here. We get to play it on KKTC.
Love it.
It comes out too as well. Put the music over there too as well. So let's do one that's not released yet. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This one is called Over You. It's a little goofy, a little fun. And this one is actually going to have a music video coming out with the EP that I'm really, really excited about, and definitely hope everybody gets a chance to watch.
Here we go.
I've been known to come back a time or two or three or 4 or 5 or 6. Ain't a word that comes close to giving you a clue to my dysfunction. Ooh, I want you, babe, but I'm telling you, I'm gonna get over you. I'm gonna say that we're through. I'm gonna go on my way, but not today. Just because I wanna know how you are, or if you noticed I was wearing your shirt when I just happened to run into you at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. I want you, babe, but I swear this time I'm gonna get over you. I'm gonna say that we're through. I'm gonna go on my way, just not today. And I'm sitting here crying, feeling like I'm dying, all because of you. And a single hair I found on my sweater. I'm gonna get over you. I'm gonna say that we're you're through, I'm gonna go on my way. But not today. No, not today.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to CMA Fest coming up here June 6th to 9th. It's going to be so much fun. If Alaina Stacey is on a stage, count me in to go out there and see her perform. Or if she's anywhere, in a bar or performing during those dates, June 6th to the 10th, I'm going to be in town. Just count me in. I'm coming to see you front row. So love it out there too. Catchy, groovy, different. It's the way it makes music so much fun out there. A song like that coming out. Is there a drop date for that one coming up here?
Yes. I obviously did my own research on myself. I think it's April 28th here.
April 28th. All right.
No, 25th. My bad.
25th.
April 25th.
25th coming up there next week. I believe that is a Thursday. Yeah, because we're going to be down in Galveston, Texas next week with Texas country artist Kyle Park. And I know that date very well because the end of February and the 25th, look for Over You across all the streaming platforms out there too. What you need to look for now too is our final timeout, and look for some jewelry during this timeout here. If you're looking for that perfect gift for Alaina, me, spouse, friend, family member, who knows, jewelry by Tommy. It's got you covered. Email our friend Tom Burley at burleysystem@yahoo.com today to order to as well. He'll get you taken care of. It's handcrafted, handmade jewelry by Tommy. And our friend out there, Grammy nominated singer-songwriter Jonathan Bond, the best in country Christian music out there. Check him out at jonathanbond.com. Click the link below there, take you to the latest YouTube video. We all need that positive, uplifting message, and he will take you to church. No doubt about that too. It's Jonathan Bond out there, the best in country Christian music. Final timeout, more with Alaina Stacey here on the show, coming back to talk about a single called Tomorrow, but we'll do it today here on the Backstage Pass. Hang tight.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
The Kaden Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at thekadengordonshow.com. Again, that is thekadengordonshow.com.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley-Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And don't forget, coming up next week, April 23rd, good show there, Doug Gray coming by, the Marshall Tucker Band, lead vocalist there too, one of the all-time greats. Doug Gray here on the Backstage Pass, and of course, coming up here in a few weeks, the one, the only, Julia Cole, May the 2nd here on the Backstage Pass. Saw her perform at the Opry there just last year during CRS, always a fun time when Julia Cole stops by. Hey, back here with Alaina Stacey on the program. I got to ask you about this. Now, being from Chicago,
Yes.
this is where I tie in sports to my program.
Oh,
Was it
no.
Cubs all the way? Cubs fan?
I am, yes. Yes.
Okay.
I grew up on the north side, so I'm a Cubs fan. Most people who grew up on the south side are Sox fans.
Yeah.
My husband is a Brewers fan. He hates the Cubs. So I can't even speak their name in this house.
Hey, next week is the NFL draft, and I always say, because I've been to Wrigley Field, it's one of my favorite spots to go to, and also pass right by Soldier Field. Growing up, was it the Bears too for you?
I'm actually a Packers fan.
The Packers, okay, all right.
Because my whole entire family is from Wisconsin. Although I was born and raised in Chicago, grandparents, aunts, uncles, everybody is from Wisconsin. So that's my Packers fan. Which in I think 2011 when they won the Super Bowl, I wore a Packers jersey to high school, and I was
nothing wrong.
Not popular.
Got a Super Bowl out there too as well, and like I said, hoping that the former coach Mike McCarthy can actually duplicate that down here in Dallas for the Cowboys fans down here too. For Texas, we've been struggling for that. It's another topic for another day out there too. Hey, I know you love Americana, such as artists like Jill Andrews, Kathleen Edwards. Yes. Talk about that and just building on that different genre of music and knowing that you've got a little bit of that sound to yourself, but just you're so easy to listen to on the ear, man, when it comes to the music. But you really have that carbon copy flavor of some of the artists that you grew up kind of idolizing in that particular field, right?
Yeah, well, and growing up, I my tastes were pretty. I mean, they've just expanded. Growing up, I listened to like a lot of like NSYNC and No Doubt and all that. But after I got into country music, then I started kind of digging into some of that rootsier stuff and some bluegrass stuff, Alison Krauss, Gillian Welch, and then also, being from Chicago, I'm a big Wilco fan. They're kind of in that Americana rock space. So I just once I got into country and then I pulled back a little bit from like the slick country that I first loved. I kind of found that love in that more rootsy stuff. Really just strong storytelling, a little bit more, sometimes broader topics. I feel like really good story songs. And I just love those acoustic instrumentations and all that. So, but Tom Waits, Ben Folds, tons of, artists over my lifetime that have kind of inspired me. And, even I joke about NSYNC, but like the harmonies of NSYNC helped me, maybe April, my band was a very vocal driven trio. And so I learned a lot of singing harmonies, with boy bands. So
boy bands, nothing wrong with that too. They're still out there, loved by a bunch of people out there too. And like I said, the more power to them as they can continue to just really infect people with their music in a very positive way, because a lot of listeners still love listening to those type of bands too as well. Now, one of my favorites is Chicago. I've gotten to talk to Jeff Coffey here on the show, who's an original member of Chicago back in the day, the band Chicago. So I think it's just really cool, all the different facets of music, what you learn here on the program too, and what I grew up on, which is just a great taste and a little bit of everything. Just makes you a smarter person. That's what I like to say too. All right, I got a chance to get my Hattie B's on when I was in town at Broadway.
Yes.
I had never had hot chicken. They said, go one place. I went there. Now I've got to try Prince's when I come back for CMA Fest. Where is your favorite place?
Well, I'm a bit of a wimp about spicy food. So I'm getting better, but I have to say I don't really eat hot chicken because I am a little baby. So Prince's, I've heard, is the best one to do. I've been to Hattie B's. I've had like the mild chicken at Hattie B's. But yes, Prince's is what I've heard is the move.
I like that. All right, here's one. We'll finish on with this one. If you were not a working musician, what other occupation would Alaina Stacey be doing?
Ooh, great question. I used to want to be a midwife, deliver babies. I think now if I were to not be a musician, I'd like to be a preschool teacher.
I love that. It's a great reply to that question too out there too. And I love it because she's just one of those rising stars in country music, Americana out there too. And guys, if you hadn't checked her out, that's why we deliver you this show here. So you can learn about all the new talent out there too at hightidecountry.net and our friends at KKTC True Country 99.9. Never mind, the current single across all the digital platforms, Over You, comes out April 25th. Been a pleasure having you here on the show. Great to talk about all these topics and then some. Come back anytime. Hope you enjoyed this.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for having me. I really did. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Got it. Alaina Stacey out there, alainastacey.com, ALAINASTACEY.com. Like I said, find out the tour dates, merchandise, and all the good stuff out there. And go download the music across all those digital platforms. We're not done yet. We added one more today. Grammy Award winner, singer-songwriter Jonas Myron coming by here on the show. He's got some new projects to talk about. Just saying Grammy Award winner, enough said right there. Just tune in. That's all I can tell you. He's going to have a great story to tell. He's coming back on the show to talk about his latest release. And then next week, Doug Gray of the Marshall Tucker Band here on the show. And, of course, Julia Cole here in a few weeks and a whole lot more shows to look forward to. It is the Backstage Pass. Stay tuned for a lot more. We'll see you soon.